Today we're going to find out if nitrous blew up the M3. Before we get started in today's video, I just want to let you know you have 24 hours left to enter the air suspension giveaway. So I don't know what you guys are waiting for. 24 hours left. Click the link in the description. Go check it out. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another vlog. Today I'm helping Dustin with a little wheel situation he's working on, and we're gonna make a quick pit stop to HG Performance. I'm gonna show you a really sick E36 build there. So unfortunately Omar is not in. He's the owner of this E36 M3, but look at the turbo setup on this. It's got the vibrant clamps, tile blow-off valve, twin tile wastegates. Everything's all ceramic coated. It's a super legit setup. We are heading to Cars and Coffee Reinvented. It's put on by Ogara, so you know there's gonna be some crazy exotics there.
And look who decided to spoil the party.
Ooh, got that fireball.
You're not gonna bring it in anyway, it's only exotic.
That pretty much concludes the Cars and Coffee Reinvented. A ton of really cool exotics. I've never seen half of those cars there. Overall, really cool show. We're heading out. We're gonna go grab some breakfast. Today we're gonna find out if nitrous blew up the M3. So for those of you who don't know, I've been running a Zex 65 shot, a wet shot of nitrous in my E36 M3 for the past 5 to 6 months. Now I really do use it occasionally, but before I go turbo, I really want to make sure the compression is all good in the motor so I know I'm not going to blow up the first time I boost. Doing a compression test is probably the easiest and fastest way to determine the health of an engine. Now it doesn't determine 100% that the motor is okay, but it's a great indication whether or not your pistons are making compression on all 6 cylinders, and that's what we're going to do today. So to do this job, you really only need a couple tools. First and foremost, you need to pick up a compression tester. You can get these from Amazon or even at AutoZone or O'Reilly's, about $20 to $30. I'm gonna need a ratchet with a long extension so I can pull out the spark plugs. Also, I'm gonna need a little pair of needle nose pliers to pull out the fuel pump fuse and just a regular 10mm ratchet to remove some of the trim pieces. First thing I'm gonna do is open up the fuel pump and locate the fuel pump fuse. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now that the fuel pump fuse is out, I'm going to attempt to start the car, and that will bleed the lines of all the fuel. There we go, car died out. We'll try one more time just to make sure it's dead. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm just going to remove this trim piece here with a 10mm. And then remove the trim. Remove the oil cap. There we go. Pop this back on so nothing falls in there. Now that you have that part of the cover off, you actually have access to all of the injector coils. What we're gonna do is we're gonna remove one coil at a time and replace the spark plug with the compression tester. And we're gonna crank the car and see what the compression is of that one cylinder. Just gotta remove the ground. They're held on by two 10mm bolts. And also this electrical clip you pull up and out. When you pull out the coil pack, you want to inspect them, make sure there's no cracks or oil or any kind of residue, anything like that, definitely replace them. These look pretty good so far, so let's go ahead and pop the compression tester into that slot. But first, we got to remove the spark plug. Now that it's loose down in there, just reach this down in and boom, spark plug comes off with it. Removed, it's also a good time to inspect this. Make sure there's no detonation or anything like that by inspecting the color on the spark plug. Now we take the threaded end of the compression tester, toss it down in there, and screw it down. Okay. Next step is to crank the car about 4 or 5 times, and then we're gonna check out the gauge. All right, first cylinder is 165. I'm gonna do the rest of the cylinders one by one. I'm gonna put a time lapse in now. We're at about 155. So it's always a good idea to grab a marker and write down all your compression numbers, that way you don't lose track. So I'm gonna go grab one. All right, 155, still good. Now, it's pretty common to have a little bit of oil around the spark plug. This is a little bit worse than I'd like, and typically this is because of a failed valve cover gasket. So when I take the head off, I'm definitely gonna replace that to be sure we can eliminate this problem. Okay, 160. $150. $165. You guys who don't know, the rule of thumb is usually plus or minus 15% of the average. And looking at these numbers, I'm concluding that this motor is healthy. Now, the one thing that I definitely have to resolve is all of the oil right around the spark plugs. So that may be why I'm getting a little bit of smoke when I'm under wide open throttle. All of those issues will be resolved when I take the head off, replace it with the lower compression head gasket and the ARP head studs. I'll be sure to get a full gasket set and replace all of those. Now we'll put the fuse back in. Overall, I'm just super stoked at how well that turned out, and really that's one of the next pieces of the puzzle to make sure that I can boost this car safely. So if you guys are wondering, I'm waiting on a couple parts to come in, and then I'm also heading to SEMA in the next couple days, so we're gonna be daily vlogging that. If you wanna subscribe to our channel, please subscribe, hit that big thumbs up button, and we'll see you guys in the next one.